Well, we got started on soybeans today. This would be May 8th. And the biggest challenge I have with planting soybeans is I have a lot of IDC soils. That's iron deficiency chlorosis. So what happens is the high pH, high soluble salts type soils keep the plant, the soybean plant, from extracting the iron out of the ground during particular growth stage, which is usually about that tall. I can't remember the R factor on that one. So what I do, like I'm just entering one now, I have an electric switch and I turn it on and it starts pumping what's called soy green down into the soil, which is basically chelated iron. And that iron, it's going to place it right below the seed in the furrow. And when it does that, during that vital time, it's hopefully enough iron there that the soil can't tie it up to the point where the plant can't get iron, or at least enough iron to get through that growth stage. Because once it gets through that growth stage, then it's able to extract enough iron again. If it can't extract the iron, the plant, of course, dies or it suffers significantly that it basically looks dead. And they don't produce anything, of course, when the plant dies. So this is quite expensive to put this on. It's not getting any cheaper. And so I run an electric switch because you can't do it over the whole field. It would be extremely expensive to just leave that on. So yeah, I use an electric switch every time I enter a zone, and I usually do my massive large zones. I don't do, like, if you have a little sliver of a spot, make sure you have a good IDC resistant variety. Now it doesn't take care of the entire problem, but it's really hard to hit some of those sliver spots. So I make sure I'm planting a good IDC tolerant soybean to help with that. You have to take different steps to be able to make that work. Another thing I do here is I fill in around the tiles. When I have a tile, I just come around like this and I go on the other side of it when I have to go around it. That I might not include in the video because it's kind of dumb, but we'll see. On the planter. I can show you those and get out of the way, but you can see one of them there. IDC soils, raising soybeans would be a lot easier. So on a farm where I don't have really any IDC soils, it's really easy to plant. It's much easier to find varieties for that field. Over the weekend, we got about an inch of rain here on my home farm, and it caused more wetness than I thought it did. It's taken a little while for it to dry out. We're going to try to dig her today and see what happens. Let the horses out on their grass here first. Back up, Butch. Yeah, I hear ya. Calves are wanting their feed too, so we'll get the tractor started up and then we'll feed the calves and everybody will be good to go for the day. A couple of years ago I picked up this 8345 RT. I'm really glad we did, because last spring my mechanical front couldn't make it through the mud near as well. This thing rolled right on through it. The globe for it, because globes are kind of in short supply. I see there's a little bit of moisture that worked its way up again last night, so we'll see how this goes. Right, just right around the place, out in the open, I think we'll be all right. So we'll see how this goes this morning. Starting out here isn't too bad. It's just up around the place, I think, that we're going to have a little bit of mud yet, and that's because the snow didn't melt away from there until just 10 days to 2 weeks ago maybe. There's still a little bit of snow there. The rest of this seems pretty good. The tractor's a little uncomfortable for me because my wife's short and she's got everything set for where she wants it, and I don't really like to mess with it because she doesn't like me to mess with her settings. And this is basically considered her tractor, is the one she runs. And so I just kind of leave her stuff alone. But I feel like I'm sitting on the floor. So yeah, these tractors work really good. They drive really nice and straight. They just have this nice straight feel to them. The only drawback is that if you get some mud on the one side and not on the other in a soft spot or something, that could be a problem because it doesn't like mud. It doesn't like, digging down into some soft dirt mud. And that part it really doesn't do as well with. They always say drop your steering wheel and keep going. Well, if you're at an angle, you got to turn because you're at the edge of the field. That's not an option. But so far it hasn't turned out to be an issue with us. Thought about operator comfort. They've done that for, boy, 50 years. Really, if you go back even to the 20 series, they tried to make them as nice as possible. They got to the 30 series, comfort really increased. Sound guard caps and everything, they were just excellent. going pretty well, and looks like it's gonna be a go to get the beans finished up here. Talking about another chance of rain here in another day, so we'll finish this one up hopefully early tomorrow morning. We'll get it rolled, and we'll be in good shape. All the soybeans will be in as well, and I have a lot of corn yet that got a haul that are on May contracts. I was thinking we would get started planting earlier than what we did. Last winter for May, so I kept making all the contracts for May, and now I'm really rushed to try to get that corn in too before May's over with, make sure I'm not subject to any kind of penalties there. So far I'm on course, but after we get done with this, so I'll show you how I roll the soybeans. We used to have a big roller. I didn't like the drifting. We get those really high winds, and boy, that dust, it would make it into such a fine dust that the wind would just carry that stuff like crazy, and I really do not like my soil blowing, so I went to got a brilliant pulverizer instead, and I've had that for many years now, and been very happy with it. I bought it the width of my digger, hoping I could probably pull it behind my field cultivator, but that didn't work out the way I'd hoped, because